Well guys, as you can see, it is December 1st in Ontario, Canada, and officially winter is back with us. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Today I wanted to give you kind of the top 10 things to bring with you in your Jeep when off-roading. Let's get into it. So starting off with number one, guys, it's going to be a simple but an easy one. You're going to want a tire pressure gauge. Okay, so if you guys are going down on the trails, you're going to need a way to air your tires down safely and know what you're airing them down to. Not to mention, you want one that gives you the ability to connect and slowly let air out until you reach your desired temperature. Okay, and this is going to come in handy again once you're off the trail and you have to air back up. To air your tires up, check the pressure and make sure you're all set for the road. So that's going to lead us right into number two. Number two on the list, guys, you're going to want to get an air compressor. It doesn't really matter what air compressor you get as long as it's mobile, functional, and this one here, this is off Amazon, wasn't entirely expensive. We're talking probably $60 or $70. It's relatively cost effective. Is it the best one you can buy for the money? No, probably not. Is it the worst you could have? Definitely not. I've used this only once to air up because we're fortunate there was a gas station right off one of the trailheads, so I was able to air up using the gas station. But if you're nowhere near a gas station or any source of air, you definitely want one of these. And number three on our list, still sticking with the air pressure, still sticking with the tires, you're going to want something that allows you to repair a tire. So let's say you don't have your jack, or you can't get your jack underneath, just quickly swap it with another tire. Let's say you just have a puncture, and this puncture repair kit is made by Rubicon USA. It's an 86-piece kit, and it's got everything you want. All your tools, valve stems, you got your valve caps, black and chrome. Anything you're going to need to repair a puncture on the side of the trail. Definitely something worth looking into. It's added peace of mind. Number four on the list, guys. If you're going off-road, you're going to want to have with you some sort of a jack. I keep a 4-ton bottle jack in the Jeep. It's a little bit different design than you're kind of used to seeing. This one utilizes a pretty wide base, which I kind of like because I don't like the standard bases that the bottle jacks come with. I don't trust them, especially off-road. This one kind of gives you more of a footprint. It's also got more of a unique design up top. It's also got a lock on it, so you can go up so far and you've got a pin and a lock. Everything locks down. This one here is made by Caterpillar. I will put a link in the description below for you guys to check it out because it is kind of cool. Is it going to help you in every off-road situation? Probably not. Most, yes. If you can get that under your axle, you're going to be golden. If you can get it under a rock slider, same thing. It lifts high enough. I think it goes to about 22 inches. So if you're going from the axle or your rock slider, it's more than enough to get that tire off the ground, change the tire. Or, you know, if you just need to put something under the tire, you got to build it up with rocks to get over an obstacle. It's going to be great for something like that. Always keep this in the Jeep because running 37s, my factory jack will not lift it even on pavement. Definitely something to carry with you. I'm not a huge fan of high lift farm jacks, but they do definitely have their place. I just don't have space really to carry it all the time. Maybe, you know, if I'm going to go off-roading, I'm going to look into some sort of a mount on the other side of the bumper where I can mount a high jack, but it's not one of the daily things that I'm going to be carrying with me. Placement of the jack in the vehicle for me is pretty crucial because you definitely want it somewhere where you can access it quick and all the time, right? That goes for a lot of your off-road gear. So the jack I have strapped onto the floor here. I have it nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. All my things, like I said before, my air compressor I keep in a bag up in this little cubby here because it's something I am always going to use. So another thing to consider is placement of your off-road equipment and how easily you can access them for when you need them. Moving along, guys, to number 5 on the list is you are going to want to carry some sort of first aid kit. I don't carry a big one. It's a small mobile kit that I have tethered off here to the frame of the Jeep. It just contains all your crucial things, your band-aids, your sprays, your wraps, your scissors, stuff like that, things you might need if you cut yourself, slice yourself, burn yourself. You definitely want to have something along the lines of first aid kit in the Jeep. Moving along to number 5, guys, tools. And I'm not going to go through everything I carry, but you're going to want some sort of tools that you carry with you. They're going to help you out in an off-road situation. So I carry some wrenches, right? Some common wrenches that you're going to use. A lug nut wrench, a torque wrench, other things like flashlight, stuff that's going to go along with what you need to do when you're out on the trail and you don't have a lot of resources around you, right? So tools are definitely something you want. You can carry a more extensive kit than this if you have the room for it. I don't. I carry a basic kit right now. I'd like to kind of get some sort of a sliding box system in the back of the Jeep. That's going to definitely be something I'll think of in the future, allowing me to carry more tools with me and more equipment. Number 6 on the list, guys, is going to be kind of generalized. It's going to be recovery equipment. Because if you're out on the trails, no matter where you are, you're going to want some sort of recovery equipment, right? So right now I don't have all of the recovery equipment that I'd like to review for you, and I think recovery equipment kind of deserves its own top 10. There's a plethora of things you can carry with you, including, you know, shackles, soft shackles, D-rings, snatch blocks, tree savers, winches, tow straps. It really, the list is never ending. And I believe that should be saved for a separate video on just recovery gear. So I'm not going to go fully into that, and as you can see, unfortunately, we're missing something up here. Okay? So I still have not set on what I'd like to put up here for a winch. I'm thinking either a 9,500 pound rough country winch or possibly a 12,000 pound winch. Not 100% sure yet. You know, we're pretty set for D shackles. I also carry spares with me. But yeah, so again, that's why I don't want to get too far into the recovery gear thing, and I want to do a separate video on that. Number 7 on the list, guys, is going to be something to cut and clear debris from the trail. I honestly didn't know if a chainsaw was going to be something I needed to have with me on the trail, and I was proven very wrong on the first time that we went off-roading. We just had a windstorm. We had quite heavy rains for probably the prior 4 days up until we went, and it took a lot of time getting out of the Jeep and trying to yank, you know, tree limbs out of the way and branches that were hanging in front of the Jeep that were going to cause severe damage. So does it have to be a chainsaw? No, not necessarily. You could use a handsaw, like a bow saw or something. Not as quick for sure. I did have a gas-powered chainsaw I decided to get rid of. All gas equipment tends to leak at some point. It doesn't really matter, you know, you're carrying gas, you're carrying gas and oil, bar oil, whatever, and you're just asking for something to leak on you. So I ended up going with a cordless battery-powered chainsaw, and it doesn't have the power that a gas one does. But definitely if you're cutting through small limbs, and even up to, I've cut 6 and 8 inch trees and dragged them out of the way. So something like this, and it doesn't matter what brand, something like this really comes in handy on the trail. So you should definitely think about taking something like that with you. Save some time, save some effort. Moving on to number 8, we're going to hop inside the Jeep here, guys. If you're off-road, you're definitely going to want some sort of communications. And by communications, I don't just mean your cell phones. Because a lot of times, your cell phones are not going to work when you're out in the remote wilderness. So what I currently use is I have a handheld. This one's actually a ultra-hated Baofeng UV5R. Okay, so I can carry this with me. I've got a spare that I can give to a spotter if I have to, and that can help you out of a lot of trouble. I also have a mobile fixed mounted radio that I got from Amazon. It's a dual band radio. It can operate on a lot of frequencies, same as the Baofeng UV5R. Knowing that is if you do not possess the appropriate licenses in Canada to use this equipment, you cannot use it legally. I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of legal rights for usage of this radio in this video, but I will tell you that if you're in an emergency life-threatening situation where you cannot contact somebody from any other means other than this radio, then you can 100% use it legally. So you can listen in on this radio all you want. You can listen through all the bands with no issue. The second you key up that mic to communicate, right here, the second you key that mic up, that becomes a legal issue. Unless you are in 100% dire situations and no other form of communication is possible. Do your research, because the laws here in Canada and most of North America will stipulate you cannot use this without a license. Number 9, guys, something so small that you probably don't even really think about that often. But if you're doing any recovery situation whatsoever with your Jeep and you're handling straps and pulleys and whatnot, something as simple as a good pair of gloves. Okay, something that, like, these are cut resistant, but something that is going to help your hands, save your hands, because I'm telling you, if you pull out a winch line, especially if it's a steel winch line and you're playing around with it, trying to hook it up using pulleys and everything, you definitely are going to scrape the hell out of your hands. I'm telling you right now, you're going to shave skin off everywhere. So make sure you get a pair of gloves with you. It's a simple thing to bring, but something that can easily be overlooked. And I usually keep 1 or 2 pairs in the Jeep at all times. And to finish this all off, guys, we come to number 10. And in all honesty, number 10 is going to be prepared for the situation that you plan to go out for. So if it's winter time, you're going to go do some winter wheeling, bring essential items for that type of year. Okay, it's winter time. Bring some blankets, maybe a change of clothes. It's common sense to go out on the trail with things that you think and things that you don't know are going to happen. So I try to bring as much as we can anytime we go out. Bring some snacks, bring some food, water. If you get stranded out on the trail and you have nothing with you, if you can't get help, it helps hours away. You want these things. You want water, you want food, right? So it just comes down to common sense and what you have space to carry. I think more is always better. Do you have to have, you know, a $1,000 plug-in fridge? Not really. You can bring a cooler. Would it be cool to have one of these $1,000 plug-in fridges that come out on a sliding cart and everything else? Hell yeah, it'd be awesome. I want one. But at the end of the day, guys, be prepared for what you're going out against and have fun and enjoy. Well, guys, it's pretty chilly out here, but I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my top 10 list of things to bring with you off-roading. Until next time, guys, take care, have fun.